To me, it's an art form that is continually adapting to emerging technologies. Employers are looking for students who have strong design skills, they have strong problem-solving skills, and the ability to take direction. That they're able to work, in a team, and that they're also able to work independently as well. And the idea of taking a direction is that time is money. And so when it comes to certain types of activities, they need the student to be to follow things very specifically. And that way it works for the employer as well as the student to be able to produce that work as quickly and as correctly as possible. Well, we don't live in a vacuum, right? There is a whole world that we're surrounded by, and it's difficult sometimes for students to understand how these GLERs or these general liberal education requirements can be helpful to them. But it's important for us and for students to know how people relate to one another, how people relate to objects and things and cultures and economies, that type of thing. And believe it or not, it will come together for a student at some point in time as they move into the future, into their careers. But it provides them with a broad understanding of the world around them, and that's something that they can draw on. And one of the things our students are very good at is doing research. So if they do come across something that they have heard in one of their GLER courses, then they kind of know where to go to look for additional information, and that can be very useful and time-saving for them when they're working on a project. Well, our program's only 10 years old, but we have really made an impact with employers. Primarily, our employers get to know our university through our student interns. When they approach them and look for places where they can find internships, the employers are very impressed with how much our students can do and how well they do it. And so that raises the profile of the university. And of course, we work to keep those relationships good, and there are some companies who post us primarily because they have had several of our students and look forward to keeping that relationship going. So I have to give the credit to the students. Well, for a long time we were new to them. They had never heard of the University of Lethbridge, but more and more when our students are out and people are talking, and we're getting inquiries from all over the place now about our students and how far that they'll travel, and we've had them all around the world. But we go from being someone that they didn't know to someone that they're really impressed in and want to get to know more just because of how well our students do. Well, the economy has been very slow, and that has definitely impacted on how fast our students have found internships or graduates have found work. Of course, many of our students are hired at the place where they have interned, which works out well for them. But because of a slow economy, it's been a little bit harder. But the experiences have still been very good and very worthwhile. So. I look forward to when it pulls out of the slow economy, because it makes it a little bit easier on students. But at the same time, I can't say that they're not finding work because of the economy. It just takes a little bit longer. Definitely strong design skills, and traditional art skills are very useful to our students as well, because so much is done as sketches and so on and so forth. But they're looking for those strong design skills, but they're also looking for strong problem-solving skills and strong communication skills, so that when they are working in a team or they are taking part of a project, that they are able to work effectively. So I have to say that most of the design skills and the problem-solving skills are what impress employers the most about our students, because they really truly are very good in those areas. Well, It's very exciting to be with the students in the last year of their degree. They've been working hard for 3.5 years. They're really looking forward to doing their internship, and they're really excited to see how well they can perform out in the industry. It's a little bit nerve-wracking because they're not sure that they can run with the big dogs when it comes to that sort of thing, but they really do want to get out there and see how they perform. So it's fun for me to see how they grow once they're out there, how they enjoy what they're doing, and that's very fun for me. Oh, see, I thought about that, and I don't know if I have an interesting question, but the most common question or concern that they have is how well that they would do, and how much will the employer expect of me, and so they wonder how they're going to manage with that. But most students, you've been carrying 5 courses every semester. And a lot of them, students have part-time jobs and things like that, so you're used to a lot of pressure. You're used to a lot of work, and so when you are out there, all the students do very well, and after the first couple of weeks when they realize that this isn't too bad, but that is more of a common question or a more frequent concern than an interesting concern. But the students themselves are very interesting, so I have to say that part's very fun for me as well. Most students go into the area of graphic design. And second to that, in almost parallel in some way, is web design, because so much of a company's presence is either online or or whatever. So, but primarily they move into graphic design because there's so many places where you can go with a graphic design degree and that thing. When you start looking at some of the other things like video and film and 3D. There's fewer students who kind of gravitate towards that, but they're still very strong as well. But primarily, it's graphic design. Well, they can work for a variety of places. Like some students have gone into business for themselves. Some have gone to work for design houses, like places that do advertising and marketing. Others will do general new media places where they do a variety of things, a little bit of video, maybe 3D, logo design, that type of thing. And then, of course, there are people who just go to work for web design companies as well. So graphic design is used everywhere. There's also companies whose primary industry is not design. For instance, we have a student who worked for the Brick, and they had their own in-house art department, and so that's where he worked. So you can work in a variety of places because eventually everything is a visual representation of something, right? So there's lots of places for them to go. Oh, definitely world domination. As far as I'm concerned, we can't begin to really fully anticipate what's going to be available to us in the next 5 or 10 or 15 years, and that's very exciting. And I think that you can bet there's going to be amazing developments and amazing visuals that go with that development.